All right. Recording on the big camera. We got a little stream going on YouTube. So today we're going to cook barbecue shrimp, folks. These are IQF frozen shrimp. Got them from Costco. Nice size shrimp. Look at these, how big they are. Very big shrimp. 4 pounds for $21. Can't beat that. Real good deal. Tried to get some more today. They were out. A buddy of mine owns Rosie Mae's Alpaca Farm. He goes there once a week to pick up supplies, and I was trying to get another bag because I wanted to do a boil, but they were out. So we're just gonna have to wait till next week. So going to let y'all come along for the ride and watch how we do things today. We're going to try to see how this works out. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to put them in some cold water and start thawing them out while I start prepping. Let me show y'all. So, see, I got them in some water, and we can let them sit in there in that water and start thawing. I like to wipe all my utensils off before I use them. Make sure they don't have any dust and make sure they're clean. So today, I'm going to use my BUBBA blade, 6-inch Nakiri knife, 6.5-inch Nakiri. We're going to start, well, first of all, turn the control freak on. We're going to turn it up to about 150. First thing we're going to do, we have our 1/2 pound of butter. Take our 1/2 pound of butter and we're going to start melting it in the pot. Because I like to incorporate my seasonings as I go. And I'm using unsalted butter. That's 1 stick. That's 2 sticks. So we got our 2 sticks there. We're gonna go ahead and put the top back on and let it melt. And that 150, it won't burn. Alright, so we're gonna put that off. That's trash. Gonna cut that off. That's trash. Whoops, sorry about that. Cut that off. Just trimming my edges. I'm not an expert cut. We learn a little bit, but the main thing is don't cut yourself. No matter how fast or how slow you go, don't cut yourself. You got the whole board, so use it. Keep your hand out of the way of the blade. Safety first. Into the pot they go. And we're going to take all this garlic. We're going to put the garlic in the pot right now as well. That's about all the garlic we're going to need right there. Got my plate and tweezers. Gonna use that to get the garlic out. Made by Mercer cutlery. They're real good for plating, for handling small food in a pan. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put our Worcestershire sauce on there so we can try and get all of that garlic out. So we need a half a cup of Worcestershire sauce. This will be about a half a cup. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix it up, get it off the sides. We'll just hit that right there for now. Then we're going to cut up our shallots. peel back the first layer and look and see how the layer underneath is. As long as you don't see anything that looks discolored, rotten, or anything, you can use it. Mine's all purple, so I'm going to use it. There we go. Let me clean this real quick. Put it in my trash bag so we don't get it all over the place, and we don't need Bella getting it. Bella want to get a piece. Try to clean as we go. So all we want to do here is just slice it. That's all we want to do. Put it in the pan. And she goes. Every once in a while I'll get a little bit thicker piece so it doesn't disintegrate and it stays in there, because I like eating it as well. Make a piece a little bit thicker. See, at 150 the butter's still melting. We're gonna save this one, that's enough. We got one left we can cook with tomorrow. So now we're gonna get our thyme. Our tarragon. Our basil. Store this over here. I don't need that just yet. Ooh, it smells so good. I'm just going to start chopping it up. Kind of put it all together. It's all going to go in together. Make sure you, when you do this, you don't get your fingers. Now we're going to go the other way. Ooh, it smells so good. In the pan it goes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this right here for now. Wipe my hands off. Turn the fire up to 180. Bring the fire up. We're going to mix it around a little bit with our tongs. Get it in mixing that butter. We're going to start infusing the flavors in our sauce. Let me bring y'all over here and show y'all what this looks like. Check that out. So I like to use my tongs, get everything working in together. We're going to let that cook. As you can see, We're at 180. It's 178, 180 on the Control Freak. It'll hold that temperature precisely. And it's cooking with induction. So the good thing about induction, and I love this, I can just set it right there. I can touch this right here. Look at that. It's not hot, but look, it's 180. It's only hot under the pot. And the pot takes the induction, takes the heat, but it's not on here. So it's very safe, especially if you have animals or kids. Very, very safe. So let's see here. We're gonna put y'all on the side of the induction cooker here, so y'all can watch as we go. There you go. Y'all are hooked to the Control Freak. So I don't have any beer. So today we're gonna cook with a little bit of Sutter Home Merlot, because I thought I had some beer left over, but I don't drink beer. So the other day I got rid of it so it wouldn't go bad in the refrigerator. So we're gonna try it tonight instead of the beer. We're gonna put some Merlot in there, and it should be good. Should be good. So let me work on the shrimp, and I'm gonna be right back. Y'all keep an eye. We're gonna go up to 200. We want to get a little bit of activity going in the pot. There we go. A little bit, not too much, because we don't want to burn that. We just want a little bit. Come down to 197. And the 2 beeps mean we hit our temperature. So we just want to get a little bit going there. There we go. We're going to take care of the shrimp. So folks, I don't know how long we've been live, but the shrimp are already thawed. So you can see how quick shrimp thaw out. They in cold water, so they're good. I gotta get some paper towel because I dry them before I put them in the pan. But because they're ready, I've gotta go ahead and get this sauce going. So it'll get ready for, oh, look at that, how good that looks. So now we want to wait till we smell it. When all the flavors start coming together in the butter, we'll smell it, and that's when we're ready for the shrimp. Have to let the flavors develop. It's all about flavor structure. Everything has to start breaking apart a little bit under the heat, and it all allows the proteins to come together, and that's what creates our flavors. So if you was going to cook like a red beans and rice or something, and you was cooking your protein down, sausage more or less, or ham, you'd let it fine build up in the bottom of the pan. Then you'd add your acid to deglaze, and once you did that, then you add your water. Or if you had enough wine in it, I use wine to deglaze, I'll add my red beans and rice mix to that, let it soak up and cook a little bit, then add the water and let it cook. Bring all your flavors together. Bring your flavors together first, then dilute and cook. So that looks good. Look at this, barely going, not too much. It's not gonna burn. Plus on the Control Freak, it's at 203. It's controlling that temperature evenly. Can y'all see that right there? Look at that. So I got my paper towel. I'm gonna bring the shrimp over here and get them ready. And I'll show them to you before I put them in. Hey Bella, Bella, you want to say hello, Bella? You want to tell everybody hello? Huh? Well, we've got one shrimp that's missing its tail. So I don't know if anybody shops at Costco, but if you do, get out of there, Bella. You don't need to get none of that. It's not for Bella. You can go buy some of these shrimp. So I'm also recording a long form video that I'm going to edit and I'm going to post, and I'll have the information for everything I use in the bottom section of the video. Plus, on my website, Cooking with the Cajun, COOKING WITDACAJUN.com, I'll have that posted a little bit later because I have to edit and do some programming on that. But I'll have it posted up there too. I can't see chat, so if anyone's putting comments, I apologize, but I'm using my iPhone to test and see how this works. There goes Bella. Bella's talking to somebody. I think she can. You hear something? You might hear the deer outside. She's talking to somebody. These are some beautiful shrimp, huge shrimp, I'm gonna tell you. I need to thank the good folks over at Rosie Mae's Alpaca Farm for picking these up when they went to Costco's for me. That was really nice of them. Costco's is like way on the other side of Chattanooga from me. It's a hike. So I like to wipe the shrimp off before I put them in the pan and make sure they're all clean. Look for anything that I may not like. Discoloration. A good fresh shrimp shouldn't have any black lines around the shells. It shouldn't smell. Just a little bit of salt water smell, but that's about it. Look here, Bella. So let me show y'all. There's the nice shrimp. Check them out right there. Can't get them close enough. There you go. Look at that. The head on. Nice looking brown shrimp. So we're going to go up to 225. We're going to place the shrimp in. And as soon as I get all of the shrimp in, then we're going to come in with our Worcestershire sauce, then our wine. And I want to make sure that the shrimp are all touching the bottom. See, that's why I like this tool. So here's my Worcestershire sauce. Got all of the garlic out of there, didn't have to waste it. Now we're gonna open our wine. I'm gonna put some wine in there. Just a little bit of wine, not a whole lot. So we're gonna go up to 250. Bring that temperature up. We cooled it off a little bit. That mixed up. is cooked. I'm gonna set my timer, count up timer. We're gonna want it to cook now since it's up to a boil for 3 minutes. That's gonna make sure that our shrimp are fully cooked. Plus it's gonna cook the alcohol out of the sauce. And it'll cook it down a little bit for us. You want to keep that bowl running. There you go, right there. That's what we want to see. See how the shrimp are starting to turn pink? That's what we want right there. We're gonna start flipping them over. We had 1 minute and 8 seconds after it started boiling. All right, so let me tell you how you judge your shrimp. Head on, 3 minutes. Head off, 2.5 minutes. Head off and no shell, about 2 minutes, and you're done. If it's a large shrimp, you can go 2.5 minutes with no shell and no head. As soon as your shrimp are finished cooking, you want to pull them out so they can start cooling. They don't overcook. You want to remove them from the heat source. It's very critical when you're boiling shrimp too. We had 2 minutes. You can notice that the rings around the shells are starting to get white. They turn yellow, golden color, and they're starting to turn white. That's when you know they're about ready. 2.5 minutes. So we're going to get ready to pick them up. Turn my heat down. So I want to bring my sauce back up to 215 because I want to cook it down some more while my shrimp are cooling. So let me show you the shrimp. Look at that, folks. Check that out. That's some nice looking barbecue shrimp right there. I'm gonna cook this sauce down. One thing I didn't add, but I'm gonna add it right now, was my red pepper flakes. We're gonna put it in the sauce because that's where it's gonna make the most difference. Yeah, I can get none out. There you go. There we go. So depending on where you live, it's going to depend on what kind of bread you use. I have these little baguettes from Ingles. If you live around New Orleans, you can go get some Zip French bread, Leidenheimer if they're still available. You get your real deal French bread, put some butter on it, put it in the oven, get a little toasty, and you have it to dip in your sauce. Here in Chattanooga, we have some restaurants that use some sliced sourdough bread, which is pretty good. And if you live in Chattanooga, you probably know what restaurant we're talking about. They have a real good barbecue shrimp dish. So let me tell you all a little history about barbecue shrimp. 1953, barbecue shrimp was invented at Pascal Manali's. And it's a head-on dish with head-on shrimp. It's a beer batter garlic sauce. Very simple, pretty much like I made it here. They probably have a little bit of stuff they don't tell you about to flavor it. They use beer. I ran out of beer, so I used wine. You'll have a golden color roux, or not a roux, but a golden color cover sauce when you use the beer. Here it's a little bit more in a red color. It's not traditional, that's for sure. But I didn't have any beer, so we had to substitute some Merlot. And in here recently, I believe the family that owns Brennan's purchased Pascal Manali's, and they manage the restaurant now. But they pretty much left everything the same. If you go to the website, Pascal Manali's, and look at the bottom, it'll show you the other restaurants that the conglomerate owns. They have some real nice dishes. Barbecue shrimp's by far their #1 dish. So if you notice, the sauce was up here and it's rendering down. The more you render your sauce down, the more it brings the flavors together and enriches the flavors. And here in a minute, I'm going to show y'all a little bit of a trick to what you can do with your sauce. So let me tell you, I loaned my immersion blender out to someone. So I have an immersion blender. I have someone that's using it because their mixer broke. But let me show you the bottom here. So the immersion blender goes in a pot and it emulsifies your sauce and all your ingredients. And then you take a sieve. Let me show you what a sieve is. I have two. So once you take your immersion blender, you can take your sieve, which is, this is a sieve. So you take your sieve and you pour your sauce in your sieve and you strain it. So once you strain it through that sieve, that takes all of the large particulates and separates them. Then you can take this finer sieve and bring it to the next level. And if you ever hear folks talk about their sauce as a silky sauce, that's how they get to that consistency, because they pull all the particulates out when they make their sauce. A lot of gumbos, if you go to restaurants and you eat a gumbo and the sauce is just, Bella, that's not for you, and the sauce just looks perfect, and that's how they do that. That's the technique they use. Me, I like to see everything in it, because you're going to eat it anyway. It's more to put on the bread. You have to be patient when you're cooking. You have to let your sauce develop. Let your flavors come together. Right now my shrimp are cooling. I'm just gonna drop that in there. It's all flavor. You notice how the shell's peeling? That means we didn't overcook it. So you come right out right there. Didn't overcook it. So you take it, put it in that sauce like that, and I know it's gonna be hot, but that's okay. That's good right there. That's some good shrimp too. So what I'll do is I'll take these shells and I freeze them, and when I make my seafood stock for my gumbo, I'll boil the shells and pull the flavor out. So all the flavor from this and the other ones, they all mix and come together and they give me a real good seafood flavor for my gumbo. So if you ever if you ever catch fish and you cut the heads off and you clean them, just keep the heads and the skeletons, put them in a bag and freeze them. And when you want to make a stock, put them in your pot. So if you have some fish pieces, if you have shrimp scales and shrimp heads, I'm trying to think of what else you could use. You can just take that and boil it and then put all your vegetables in. You cut your onions in half, cut your garlic in half, cut just big pieces. You don't need to cut everything small, and put it all and boil it for a couple hours. And then you sift that liquid through the sieve and through the smallest screen, and then you get your seafood stock. And then you have a homemade seafood stock. You do the same thing with chicken. You can do the same thing with beef. Now, I'm gonna warn you, if you do it with beef, it's very, very oily and messy. So beware. You probably want to clean it outside, not inside, because you don't want to put that in your drain. I usually freeze it and then scrape it all out, put it in a container and throw it away. Or put it in some plastic bags and throw it away. But you can do the same thing with chicken. You go to the store and buy a chicken, boil it, and you can peel the meat off and then boil the bones some more. And you can make a good chicken soup, make your own stock. That way you can control how much sodium's in it as well. You can take your aromatics, put them all together, get a piece of leek, get you some bay leaf, and wrap it in with some string, put it in your stock, and then when you finish, you just tie your string to the side of your pot. Just pull it out, that way you can find it. See, it's cooking down, and it smells good too. Look at that. You know, taste it. Oh yeah. I'm glad I didn't add any salt. If you notice, you don't see that thin film of clear liquid on top anymore. You have a little bit around the edges, but it's all evaporated. It's cooked out. That's what we want. For those of you who are just joining us, let me show y'all. We just cooked us some barbecue shrimp. Look at that. We're letting them cool right now while we complete our sauce. And we have our sauce in our pan cooking down. This is our first live video. I can't see chat, I apologize. Next time I hope to have a laptop up where I can look at chat and answer questions live, but we take them one little step at a time. We may do a shrimp and grits next when we go live. I've got some shrimp left over and I think I'm gonna, let me see if I have the ingredients. We might do it Saturday. So let me show y'all. I've got the shrimp and grits from Raging Cajun, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a shrimp and grits video. Acadiana Kitchen puts these little boxes together, and it's it's real easy. Everything's in the bag. You can bring it together and cook it. You don't have to waste a whole lot of time buying the ingredients. Just yes, all you got to do is bring the shrimp. And what I may do is I may capture some of this sauce to use with that to bring some flavors over. So we're gonna come down to 190 and let our sauce start cooling. Get some of this fine off the side. I love this made-in saucepan because the sides are rounded, so my spoon can rub the sides evenly because they're not at a 90-degree angle. They sort of match the spoon. So we're gonna let that sit. Well, folks, I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's live stream. Please leave a comment, like the video if you like it. I see I have 2 likes right now, 5 people watching. We've been going for about 43 minutes. I wanted to do about a 45-minute stream to an hour. Nothing too intense. And there's Bella saying hello to everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed everything. If there's something you'd like to see me demonstrate, I'd be glad to. Hope y'all have a good and blessed evening. We'll talk to y'all later. Thank y'all for watching.